This is Infotainment. Ukamva sasikulira choncho umaziwa kuti nkhani zamsangulutso zabwera tikuwuzeni kuti kunali chani nkhani zamsangulutso komanso kukhalenso chani nkhani zamsangulutso. And in this edition, YDC, all the way from Blantyre, stages a play titled A Journey to Lampedusa. We've got that to tell you. And Dalitso, comedian Dalitso, all the way from the United Kingdom, is in town to hold two performances, one in Blantyre and another one in Lilongwe, where he will be sharing the stage with fellow United Kingdom-based comedian that's Imran Yusuf, as well as all the way from Uganda, Salvador will be also sharing the stage with Dalitso. And again, we also look at Deft Poetry Festival announcing that starting next year, that's 2023, they'll be bringing awards for poets. This year they had their second edition, so we've got more to tell you on that. All you can do is stay right there as I bring you more in Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. And my name is Sam Banda Jr. But this program comes to you courtesy of UNICAF. Now we begin our program with news that last Saturday, Eli Njuchi was in Mangochi at Mangochi Stadium, where he launched his latest album titled Red Flag. The album has songs such as Goo Goo Goo, and he attracted a huge audience. And he did it in fashion, in a fashionable way, because he came in a crane. Just to show how creative he was. So as Infotainment, we'll give you a short performance of his Goo 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 when he was basically performing while he was in a crane. So let's see the highlights of Eli Njuchi performing at Mangochi Stadium last Saturday. Let's go! Be the bad boy, you want to get done. So, where are you in a salati weko? So, what's your money paper? Be the bad boy, you want to get done. So, you are on the summer with Cabo. You really win the Sachi Lapa. You are my Yeah, that's how it was. Eli Njuchi launching his album titled Red Flag at Mangochi Stadium last Saturday. We've seen it's a moment where we've seen a number of artists launching their albums. Eli Njuchi launching his album Red Flag. We've also seen Gwamba launching his album titled True Independence. We've also seen Pixie launching his album titled Mtuzi. And there are a number of artists coming out to launch their albums. We've also seen Wendy Halawa announcing that she will be launching her album in September, where she's bringing in that's an artist, an American Christian artist, Travis Green from United States of America. So it's a year of album launches. We do hope. I think artists are going to pull up their socks in terms of giving out their best. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banjat Jr. Now, moving out of the album launch by Ella Njochi, we move on to comedy. UK-based comedian Daliso Chaponda is in the country. Earlier this year, he actually had 2 shows in Lilongwe, and that time was still not as active because that time was still battling COVID. But now things have changed, and people have got all the spaces. Creatives have all the spaces to basically hold performances. So Daliso is in the country. He will hold his first performance at Amaladi's Hotel in Blantyre, where he will share the stage with Imran Yusuf, all the way from the United Kingdom as well, at Amaladi's Hotel in Blantyre, as I've said. And August 13, he will be at BICC in Lilongwe, sharing the stage with Imran Yusuf, as well as Salvador from Uganda. We captured the moments ahead of his performance at Amaryllis Hotel in Blantyre. He had a press conference, that's on Wednesday, where he shared something about his performances in Malawi. Let's hear from Daliso.
Are you okay? I want to use my money to scatter your brain for you. Permit me. Yeah, I love you. I want to use my to shift your own. Oh, permit me.
It was before COVID, before the pandemic, and it's been 2 years. When I was thinking about performing in Malawi, didn't know what would happen. And then a few months ago, around 5 months, I don't know what's going on. A few months ago, I came and I did some shows in Lilongwe. And then when I came over to Blantyre just to do a small show for FDH, I met Remy, and we talked about how Blantyre needed its own big crazy show. And I was like, you organize it, I'll show up. And so it's very good to be back. I mean, sadly, it's a very easy time to write jokes about, because so much crazy stuff is happening in the world, you know. We've got Chris Rock being slapped by Will Smith. We've got all kinds of... There's a comedian, president of Ukraine, who's now being invaded. There's so many things going on in the world, which has made for good comedy.
Yeah, that's Daliso Chaponda, all the way from the United Kingdom, holding 2 shows in the country. A welcome development, especially for the comedy world, because recently we also saw Nyauyu holding her own comedy night. So things are coming up in terms of comedy pushing the ground and taking up the space in the creative sector. Now moving out of comedy, we go to theater. YDC Theatre, a youthful group from Blantyre, continues to show the world that they are better at doing their theatrical performances. And recently they were at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre, where they staged a play titled A Journey to Lampedusa. This play was written by Fumbani Piri. So they continue showing their best in terms of theater. And of course, this play, they were supposed to take it to Zimbabwe, but due to financial problems, the group hasn't traveled. But they are doing their best in terms of showing the world that they are good at doing their game. Where there's Infotainment, and we captured the moments when they were holding this play, as well as having an interview with Fumbani Piri. Let's enjoy the play.
Home is the best, but life begins with movement. Without movement, there is no life at all. The warm heartland is only home.
Oh! Oh!
I like lighting production that tells story in Africa. So in 2017 or not 18, I came across a certain project titled Morning at Lampedusa. So as we going through the project, it inspired me a lot what happened, issues about Lampedusa. So I started conducting research about issues of migrant, how they cross to Europe, and the issues that gives them to travel outside Africa. So then I came up with the journey to Lampedusa as an extract from the pieces of research. Then this time around, I tried to extend it as a full-length production. I put some element of movement, some dance. There was one reason I did that because culture is presented through all those elements, music and dance. So when I presented those things from different countries, it reflects the diversity of the production, and at the same time it gives some powerful symbolisms about our political satire, I can say.
Brothers and sisters, with the spirit of Ubuntu, home is where you coexist, regardless of your language, your tribe, or nation. Mulimwaji, aliuli. Je say, Mutiwabaji.
Munza.
Kumela.
Yeah, that's a play titled A Journey to Lampedusa by YDC Theatre, a play that basically challenges Africans that they need to work together. They need to love one another. Speaking about the challenges that Africa is facing, especially why people migrate or go for greener pastures. We've seen Malawians going to South Africa searching for greener pastures. Why do they move from their own country going to South Africa? It's because of the challenges they are facing. There are also other Africans moving out of other countries going to Europe seeking for greener pastures, but it's all to do with the challenges that they are facing. Remember, this program comes to you courtesy of UNICAF. Now, moving on with the program Infotainment here on Times Television. We're talking about theater. Now we move on. We go to poetry. last Saturday, Amaryllis Hotel in Blantyre hosted the second edition of Deft Poetry Festival. A number of poets showed their skills during the one-day festival. As I said, this is the second edition of the festival, and we were there as Infotainment. We had interviews with one of the directors of Deft Media, who is behind the festival. That's Rodwell Rumbe. We also spoke to Q Malewezi, who was one of the performers. We also spoke to Trezor, who was also one of the performers, as well as rapper David Kalirani, to share their moments as regards Deft Poetry Festival. So we'll give you the highlights of Deft Poetry Festival second edition.
One sentence could change that orphan boy's life the way those 3 words changed yours. You could be burying someone's blessing on the tip of your tongue, or have the answer to my prayers caught in your throat. So please speak. Speak up, speak louder, speak with the audacity to believe that you're actually saying something. Be that voice, break the silence, make noise, shake tables, just please speak. There is strength in the spoken word, so speak louder.
They tell a story of oppression, yes. Unfortunately, the fact that I'm female automatically lowers my paycheck, but they tell a story of dominion too. Did it ever occur to you that sitting on the throne of one of the most successful countries in the world is a queen? And no, I didn't mistakenly use the letters Q-U-E-E instead of K-I-G, the country I'm from. Wait.
Ndinaweza zikitsi madotolo zirikuta mabebaradza ndokubataniso waweresa dzerekezo kuno kukuyatsa nkupondera mpawiliwo matenda akakabonetsa kundakulawitsa ndege isafumbwe kutundolimiwo ndiga vachilinga kumbiri koko ila kudzanyinyala nthaka idana mamunikalinga kachimphigo yokubula kafa ntengati dzoko maikukunkabula yokafunkabwera.
And we will not stop doing this. We are considering taking it to the other regions, and we are considering doing it at least twice a year in different regions. And also, we are considering bringing poetry awards. So we will be awarding poets at Deft Poetry Festival. So next year, we will have poetry awards inside Deft Poetry Festival.
But then again, here I stand. In the emptiness that I sought, in the silence that I duly desired, questioning myself why I even ever sought it. For it too doesn't satisfy. My long search for something to please me is futile, since I cannot find it here.
The audience keeps on getting better. People are very, very attentive. I really had a great time. The receptiveness, the interaction, the response of the people. And, you know, growth in poetry is not just about the poets, but it's also about the audience.
And then I thought of what I missed most about you. At first, I thought it was your smile, how it warms my soul, even at the thought of it. How it enchantingly draws me in, how you hold your truth in its perfect curve.
Especially currently as a nation, as a people. So I thought that was amazing. I think the poets are using the vehicle of the arts to really be a voice for the people. So this is a powerful platform.
Sister, as their venom-laced words are thrown at you and our ancestor Stella writes the lifeless idols pray.
It was amazing. I was here last year as well, but this year I've really seen just the growth that this platform has had. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the mix of the upcoming poets and the renowned poets.
Mama made it out alive. Tell me. I mean, cause the doctor said it from the get-go. Said it wasn't healthy for you, even now let me go. And room full of doctors saying don't want them to lose both. You had it bad.
Yeah, praise Umali there performing at Deft Poetry Festival, and we saw a number of poets showing their skills. Pindu Banda, Robert Chiwamba, Q Malewezi, and several other poets who starred at this year's Deft Poetry Festival. Now moving out of poetry, we go back to music because Mzati Alinafe Chiwanda that's last Friday, launched his album inspired long playlist at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre, and the show the launch, of course, not many people patronize the launch, but those who came basically supported the artist. There was Rami Wahid, that's the general manager of Amaryllis Hotel. There was Tonderai Banda from Team Entertainers. There was a number of artists, basically who supported Mzati, real name Alinafe Chiwanda. We're there as Infotainment, and we captured the moments when Mzati was launching the inspired long list playlist. Here we go.
Okonde kamwana wanga komwe ulisindiziwa zote ndiwe wankazi kapena wamuna sindiziwa. Mr. Taps Bandawi and Mr. Tondelai Banda. Amazing, I'm inspired, and I have got my family tonight. Isn't it amazing? I have got a brother all the way from South Africa. He just flew in today for this. I am inspired.
Quick speech. I came in August 2020, and by October 2020 I just discovered that I am in deep love with Malawi, in deep love with the culture of Malawi, the art of Malawi. We have decided in Amaryllis that we are not going to keep quiet, and we have to come and support culture, Malawian culture and Malawian art.
The country I know, the only country anybody knows in Malawi is Malawians. So when we are engulfed with the culture that we have, right, the talent that we have in our country, what we need to do is embrace it. Because let me tell you something, we cannot export American culture to America. We cannot export South African culture to South Africa. You understand? The only way we can be successful in our own realm and in anyone's realm is that we export ourselves to the world.
That's John Fire there, warming up the stage for Mzati at Jacaranda Cultural Center. And you also heard from Tonderai Banda, Taps Bandawe, as well as Rame Wahid. That's from Amaryllis Hotel. On that note, we've come to the very end of Infotainment, the basket for arts and entertainment. My name is Sam Banda Jr. Keep it times as well as Infotainment. I'll leave you with a performance of ethno-musician Waliko Makala at Jacaranda Cultural Center, where he shared the stage with his son who was playing the trumpet. I'm out of here. Ciao.
A celebration of Sounds of Malawi, because we had also the birthday of Mr. Luke Disham and their wedding anniversary. Yeah, so we're just like, what can we do to offer him also a nice performance? But also we had a wonderful audience. You saw yourself, this is a global audience, the ones that we had tonight, and we wanted to introduce them to the sounds of Malawi, the actual sounds, which is not just the sounds of the past, but also the sounds of the present and the future. So you can see our band is comprising of family.